Hi, it's Maggie the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your July 2020 general readings. We are looking at the first half of July, so from July 1st through July 15th. This reading is for the water sign of Scorpio. Welcome everyone. I hope as always that you are staying safe and well and reasonably well balanced in a really radically different year than all of the years I've known. Thanks for all that you have done and continue to do in support of this channel, liking, sharing, subscribing, watching, donating, or even just taking the time to tune in. Every bit of it is welcome and every bit of it is appreciated. Thank you so much. So this reading is for Scorpio, first half of July. So that's Scorpio Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, if you're cross-watching for Scorpion as well. If you know all of your sign videos, you know, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, watch them all because each one can provide, you know, additional bits of information that can help give you, you know, some perspective and insight into what's going on in your life during this time. And if any of the videos do resonate with you and you'd like to, you know, reach out, take a deeper look at something, get a personal reading, get information about personal readings, just click on the description link below, click on that little arrow, and you'll see some more info and contact details. You can email me directly at maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. I can usually respond within the first 24 hours with more info. And scheduling is done in as timely a fashion as possible. Readings are all that I do. I do them full time. So I'm pretty diligent at working with your schedule in mind to get those set up for you. So email me if you're interested. I'd be happy to hear from you. Okay, Scorpio, let's see what the first half of July has in store for you. I am using Legacy of the Divine Tarot, and if we need to clarify, I will be clarifying with the Gilded Tarot. Okay, Scorpio, we begin with the King of Swords, followed by the Six of Swords, the Two of Swords, followed by the Seven of Cups. From the bottom of the deck, we have the Knight of Cups. I'm going to take this card with it, the Two of Wands, and interesting, right behind it is the Tower. I'm not going to keep that though. So your overall energy from the bottom of the deck is the Knight of Cups, followed by the Two of Wands. So there's definitely an offer here coming in, offer of you know, love or support or encouragement, or somebody asking you out on a date, or, you know, Cups is governed by the element of water, and in the tarot this governs, you know, everything that falls into our emotional life, love, relationships, emotional connections, the emotional landscape of your life. Knights are the bringers, the defenders, the guardians, the speed at which something moves. So the Knight of Cups comes in pretty quickly to, you know, the Knight of Cups is in love with love itself. So there's an offer of love coming in. But offer of love can mean a variety of different things. It can be somebody asking you on a date, somebody making an offer of some kind that's fueled by love, caring, support, encouragement, all of that. And usually moving pretty quickly. The Two of Wands here, so needing to make a decision about what that is. You can always reverse. It might be you making an offer, extending an offer, but first and foremost in the reading I usually read for what's coming in. So it looks like for many of you there's, you know, an offer coming in, an offer that's fueled by some kind of love or attraction for you. We have the King of Swords with the Six of Swords. Interesting. So the King of Swords, and I'm feeling like for most of you, this is a person external to you. It's not your energy. Aquarius, Gemini, Libra, Sun, Moon, or Rising, showing up as a king, but this is a general reading. There's a lot of you watching. It could be a female as well. This is an energy of somebody who has. This is the energy of air. Air is the element which governs the suit of swords, and it's mental, cerebral, intellectual energy. So this is somebody who's probably quite intelligent, smart, if not well educated to boot. Somebody who's probably a very clear, direct communicator. He might come off sometimes as a bit blunt and direct. This is somebody who comes first from, a place of the mind rather than the emotions. Not mind against the emotions, but this is somebody who, will set his own emotions aside, even if it's difficult, in the name of what is truthful, what is real, what is wise, what is best, practical, linear thinking. He's grown and matured beyond the energy of the page and the knights, and he's at the top of his suit. So he has that a very balanced, responsible, in touch, in tune place with, words, ideas, communication, thoughts, ideology. He's a king. And he rules with a very precise eye. A real stickler for details as well. Aquarius, Gemini, Libra energy, Sun, Moon, or Rising. Somebody who's in your life, or a significant energy in your life for the first half of July. Now, what accompanies and clarifies the King of Swords is the Six of Swords, which is a card typically of healing, of moving away from choppy, turbulent, muddy waters into a place that's more stable, serene. It's a card that represents peace and respite and healing, which can sometimes be painful in the early days. So, and because there's this sort of love offer, or somebody extending an emotional offer to you as kind of the overall energy, and a decision needing to be made about that, this may be, for some of you, it looks like somebody reaching out, perhaps at the very least for in an apology. Maybe somebody's apologizing, wanting to see if they can, it might be somebody that you've been estranged from. In terms of love and romance, it might be somebody that you broke up with, somebody that you're estranged from, or somebody with whom that there's been an already established relationship, and there's been some kind of upset or conflict because there's healing potential there. The King of Swords is bringing healing energy, or wanting to bring healing energy. So it looks like for some of you, this King of Swords is coming back into your life with an offer of some kind, or reaching out with an offer or an apology. Although the Knight of Cups implies that if it's a rocky relationship, or a relationship from the past, they're also wanting to see if maybe you want to start up the band again, or if there's a possibility of reconciliation. And next to that, we have the Two of Swords and the Seven of Cups. I'm not sure I like this combination of cards for you, Scorpio, because both of these cards together can represent being very idealistic about this, and looking only at what the most beautiful, perfect outcome could be, and closing your eyes to anything else, maybe even reality. The Two of Swords is often a card I refer to as kind of the head stuck in the sand card. It can represent having your kind of walls up, your defenses up, and the blindfold represents that you're genuinely stuck, or that there's a reluctance and a resistance to seeing something that's right in front of you, some kind of truth or knowledge or information that's right in front of you, because once the blindfold comes off and you see it for what it really is, then you have to accept and acknowledge the reality of something and make a choice based on that. So it's safer and easier to stay blindfolded, at least for a time. Like that 800-pound pink gorilla in the corner of the living room. It's there, but you figure if you don't really look at it directly, then you don't really have to deal with it. And what accompanies and clarifies it is the Seven of Cups, which is a card, a very dreamy, illusionary card. And illusions can be dangerous because by their very nature they have no faults, no flaws, no imperfections. The Seven of Cups can be a card of fantasizing, daydreaming, building castles in the sky, considering a lot of different options, all of which are perfect and beautiful and the best outcome. There's nothing wrong with that. We all have to dream. This can be a very beautiful card of considering, what the possibility and potential of the outcome of something could be. But it's water energy only, and it can be somewhat unrealistic energy. And combined with the Two of Swords, It might be, and we're going to clarify some of this, but it might be that somebody is coming in maybe from your past, or somebody that you've, had a really bad argument with or something. There's some kind of offer coming in of, wanting to try it again, wanting to heal and move forward and try it again. And this sort of blind idealistic energy can be you saying, yes, let's try it again, and ignoring the fact that whatever it was that caused all the conflict or harm or breakup or whatever hasn't actually been dealt with. I mean, exes, whether they're ex-friends or ex-lovers or whatever, are usually exes for a reason. And the only time that reconciliations really work, Scorpio or anybody else that's watching this, is if the original reason for the breakup or estrangement has been dealt with or gets dealt with. This looks a little bit like somebody's turning a blind eye to the reality of a situation and focusing only on how beautiful and perfect and wonderful it's going to be, and kind of ignoring the underlying reality or the underlying issue here. It might be you, it might be them, but I have a sneaking suspicion it might be you. All right, here's where we clarify. Let's clarify this Knight of Cups. What is this offer or opportunity coming in? Feels it's emotionally driven in nature. Page of Cups. So messages reaching out, maybe little flirtatious messages, asking you out on a date, seeing if you're available. At the bottom of the deck is the Devil, so underlying unstable energy. The Five of Pentacles, feeling shut out. Again, this feels like, a relationship reading. And by relationship, it can be like love and romance. For some of you, it might be friendship or, some other kind of partnership. There was obviously, this is about an already established connection. And it looks like there were some issues in the past, a lot of issues. I don't think that they've been dealt with or resolved or acknowledged properly, because the Devil and the Five of Pentacles here, Scorpio, kind of implies that. I mean, somebody feeling shut out, in need, hurt, abandoned, rejected, not good enough. The Devil, which is significant, profound imbalance, addictions, toxic relationships. It's like somebody's coming back into your life or popping up again and saying, let's start it up again. Let me just see if Scorpio is available. Can I just give an apology? Can we go out again? Let's just move on and kind of heal through this. And somebody is being blind to the actual reality of the fact that I think that the underlying issues here, which look pretty significant, have not been dealt with. Let's clarify this Two of Swords. So be careful, Scorpio. If this is resonating for you, be careful. Be careful not to blind yourself to, whatever caused the conflict or the breakup or estrangement or separation in the past. Don't be blind to that and focus only on the beautiful promises that somebody might be making you about, oh, it'll be better, it's fine, let's just put it behind us, it'll never happen again, blah, blah, blah. When it needs to be acknowledged and, dealt with before the two of you can properly kind of move forward again. This also might be that this King of Swords who's coming back in is kind of saying, yeah, and I love you, and let's, move forward with this, and there, it could be, this Two of Swords and Seven of Cups, this unrealistic, sort of blind to the truth of things energy, Scorpio. It might be the energy of this King of Swords person. the King of Cups, which is you, and the Two of Wands, again, which is, trying to decide. The Two of Swords. So you have the Two of Wands and the Two of Swords, and they've repeated themselves again. The Two of Swords and the Two of Wands again with you. So Scorpio, I think that you need to be very careful in this situation, because it feels like you're not, the temptation is that, what this person comes in with, the Knight of Cups, promising the sun, the moon, and the stars and healing, and it's going to be okay, and let's just move on, and we don't need to talk about it or deal with it, let's just move on. There's still an underlying energy of that devil, toxic energy, and it needs to be dealt with, it needs to be acknowledged, and somebody here is not doing that. They're only focusing on, oh yeah, it's going to be beautiful, and yeah, I don't want to deal with that, let's just, forget about it and kind of move on, and it doesn't feel healthy here. Yeah. You know what? I'm going to pull some final advice and guidance cards for you, Scorpio. What is the best way for Scorpio to kind of navigate through this period of time? What's the best thing for them to do, think about, focus on? Four of Swords, taking a step back, getting rest, recuperation, getting some perspective. The Seven of Wands, keeping your defenses up, protecting yourself, making sure that you're protected and guarded. This isn't aggressive. He's not, attacking the people who are holding the wands, but he's defending. So it's having your defenses up. So again, being careful, taking a step back, withdrawing to get some perspective, and maybe some thinking time and some rest and recuperation time as well. Strength, facing your fears, your doubts, your insecurities, facing them head on and moving through them, dealing with stuff, which takes strength and wisdom and courage and insight and humility. It's also what you gain more of on the other side. It's the polar opposite of this staying blind with your head stuck in the sand. It's time to take the blindfold off and have the strength and courage to kind of move into the actual reality of what this is. It's like you want to believe them so much that the temptation is that you're going to ignore what's happened, which has not yet been dealt with. So be very careful, Scorpio. Maybe take some time off, take some time away to kind of think about this and be very realistic about it, and don't just let your guard down and let them come rushing in and sweeping you off your feet, or trying to, because that's what the Knight of Cups does. And the challenge for the Knight of Cups, even though he's in love with love itself and he means everything that he says in the moment that he says it because of the emotions that are driving it, but sometimes the Knight of Cups has a challenge in being able to follow through long term when the reality of things kind of hit, being able to realistically sustain something. So be careful with that. That may have been part of the problem in the past. So that is your reading, Scorpio, for the first half of July. I hope that you found it helpful and useful. Again, if any of these readings resonate with you, you want to take a deeper look at something, reach out for a personal reading. Just click on the description link below. You'll see my email address there, Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. Please email me. I would be most happy to hear from you. I will see you all again in a couple of weeks for the July mid-month readings. Until then, stay safe and well and as happy as you can. And I hope to see you back here again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.